Aashis Aaradya. I joined for Guru Niwasa Institute, Abhiman Sir's English medium science class, and today I'm going to do a lesson explanation for the second unit in the grade 6 textbook, Things Around Us. We can categorize things around us like this: having a mass and don't have a mass, occupy space and do not occupy space. We can get an example. Pen. It has a mass and occupies space. Let's get another one. Sunlight. It don't have a mass and do not occupy space. Okay, let's move on. Now we have to do an experiment. It's experiment to find out whether air has a mass. For this experiment, you will need two equal balloons filled with air, a meter ruler, several pieces of thread and a pin. Method. Set up the balloons at the two corners of the meter ruler and balance the ruler until it makes a hole in one balloon and let the air out. Observation. The meter ruler lost its balance. Conclusion. This happens because the air in the balloon goes out. So we can conclude air has a mass. Okay, let's move on. We have another experiment. That is, experiment to find out whether air occupies space. For this experiment, you will need a basin, a dry handkerchief and a glass. Method. Place the handkerchief tightly at the bottom of the glass and keep the glass upside down vertically into the water basin. Take out the glass vertically from the water basin and check whether the handkerchief is wet. The observation: the handkerchief is not wet. Let's see this experiment's conclusion. Water cannot enter the glass. This is because there is air in the glass. Air occupies space. Okay, now we are going to learn matter and energy. Matter. Things with a mass and occupy space are known as matter. Example: pen, water, air, table, milk, animals. Okay, let's go to energy. Things without a mass and do not occupy space are known as energy. Examples: fire, sound, heat, sunlight, gravity, magnetic energy. Let's learn about mass. The amount of matter in an object is referred to as the mass of the object. The international unit of measuring the mass is kilogram. We can say it in the short form kg. Grams and milligrams are some other units to measure the mass. Let's learn the states of matter. The states of matter are solid, liquid and gas. Let's learn characteristics of solid. A definite shape and a definite volume. Examples: brick, bat and stone. Now let's learn characteristics of liquids. A definite volume and no shape. Example: water, milk and coconut oil. Characteristics of gases: no definite volume and no definite shape. Now we have to do an experiment. That is, experiment to find out the characteristics of liquid. For this experiment, you will need a measuring cylinder, colored water, transparent containers of different shapes. Method: measure 25 ml of water using the measuring cylinder. Observe the shape of the water in the measuring cylinder. Measure 25 ml and put into the containers of different shapes. Observation: we can observe different shapes of water and water take the shape of the containers. Conclusion. In this activity, we put the same volume of water into the containers and water takes the shape of the containers. So we can conclude a liquid has a definite volume and no definite shape. Now let's move on. Now we have learned how to measure a liquid using a measuring cylinder. The measuring cylinder is used to measure liquid in the laboratory. The correct method of measuring a liquid volume is when you put a liquid into the measuring cylinder, you will see a curved surface of the water level. Get the reading of the lowest curved point, and that is the correct way of measuring a liquid by a measuring cylinder. Now let's move on. Find out whether air occupies space. For this experiment, you will need an empty bottle, a water basin, and let's go to the method. Put the bottle upside down in the water basin and tilt the bottle. Observation. When the bottle is in vertical position, water doesn't enter the bottle. But the bottle is in tilt position, bubbles come out and water enters the bottle. The conclusion. First, water didn't go into the bottle because something was in the bottle. At the next position, water entered the bottle because the air blocked it in the bottle came out. So we can conclude that air occupies space. Then let's move on. And we have another experiment. That is, experiment to find out whether there is a definite volume for air. For this experiment, you will need 2 gas jars, a joystick, and a piece of cardboard. The method. Light the joystick and send the smoke into the gas jar. Turn upside down and close the mouth of it by using cardboard. Now get another gas jar and keep under the piece of cardboard. Remove the piece of cardboard slowly. The observation. The smoke in the first gas jar goes to the second gas jar. The conclusion. The gases do not have a definite volume and they spread throughout the containers. Now we have to compare solid, liquid and gases. Solid has a definite shape and has a definite volume. Liquid gets the shape of the container and has a definite volume. Gases, no definite shape and no definite volume. Specific properties of solid matter. First one, hardness. The property of resistance to scratch, abrasion and cutting is known as hardness. Examples, diamond and iron. Malleability. The ability of metals to be drawn into thin sheets without breaking by hammering or rolling is known as malleability. Examples, metal, copper or iron. Ductility. The ability of metal to be drawn into thin wires without breaking is called ductility. Examples, metals, copper, aluminium or gold. Elastic nature. The property of increasing in length of a material by force or stretch. Example, rubber and elastic. Brittleness. The tendency of a material to break under a small force is known as brittleness. Glass and coal. Texture. Feel of surface, rough or smooth. Examples, baby talk, cotton, they are smooth. and sandpaper is rough. And this is the lesson explanation of the second unit in the textbook, Things Around Us. Thank you very much.